Hi guys, as you can tell from the title, we've got a lot to talk about in this video, so let's just go ahead and get to it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or for those of you that have never been here before, welcome to the channel. So as I said in the intro, we've got a lot to talk about in this video. I'm going to try to answer all the questions that I think everybody might have. I've been putting this video off for a while, and I know it's been a long time since we put a video out. I could have had this video out before now, but as I said, I've been putting off making this video. This is not going to be an easy one to make, so I'll do the best I can with it. So for starters, why did Ground Up Garage leave YouTube? Well, we didn't really leave YouTube. For those of you that watched our last video that was put out, like I said, a long time ago, it was engine build part 1. I was getting ready to have knee surgery when we put that video out. So that ended up being a really extensive knee surgery. There was about 3 or 4 different things that the doctor had to do to my knee. It was about a 2.5 hour knee surgery. I was off my feet completely for 30 days leading up to surgery, and another 6 weeks after surgery. I couldn't put any weight on that leg at all. So that was 2.5 months that I was off my feet, and I was off work for a total of 6 months. And so, as you can imagine, that was a lot to deal with, and it was hard to come back from. I would say I'm still not 100%. I'm not where I was before surgery. I hope to one day get back there. I don't know, it was just tough. It was a lot tougher than I thought it would be. While I was off for surgery, my best friend, we'll just call him Chris. I'm not going to get too in depth with some of the stuff with him, because he was kind of a private person, and I know he wouldn't want that. But Chris had been my best friend since 1992, junior year of high school. He was the one that got me into cars originally. He was the one that got me into Camaros, definitely. And at one time in high school, he lived with me and my parents for a while. Slept on my bedroom floor. Just, you know, shit high school people do, I guess. But me and him were really close for a long time. And then for a while we weren't close and we didn't talk at all. But we had gotten close again. And he actually was renting half my shop off of me. The shop that I was using when I started this channel. And then he found out he had cancer. and that was rough. So he was battling that. And it just so happened he was battling that. Well, he was battling that before I even had anything wrong with my knee. But the worst part of his battle came when I was off for my knee surgery. And I'm sorry to say that my best friend lost his battle. But while I was off for surgery, all the medications and all the stuff they gave me when I had surgery, it really screwed up my sleeping. And so I wasn't sleeping much for several months after the surgery. And, you know, Chris was having a lot of problems with his battle, so he wasn't sleeping real well either. So there would be nights that I'd be up. It might be 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'd message him and he'd be up, and we would just sit there and text all night. Or I'd be sitting there watching TV because I couldn't sleep, and my phone would go off and it'd be 2:30 in the morning and it'd be him because he couldn't sleep. So then we'd sit there and text all night. So I guess I'm thankful for that. I guess I'm thankful that I was off for surgery when he was getting to the end of his battle, because had I been working, of course I would have been sleeping at night. So all that time that we spent texting and talking definitely wouldn't have happened. And I actually got to hang out with him for like, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours. Well, it was 2 days before he passed. And I'm thankful for that time. I knew when I saw him that day that things weren't good, and it probably wasn't going to be long. Because I've seen a lot of people in my family lose a battle to cancer, so I know what it looks like. So when Chris passed, that was a month before I went back to work for my surgery. And honestly, it sucked all the motivation out of me, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, he was the one that got me into cars. He was definitely the one that got me into Camaros. And he shared half my shop with me. So it was hard. There were a lot of times that I wanted to go over and work on the car, and I'd get to the shop and be there 5 minutes, and I would just turn everything off and leave because I just couldn't even be there. It was rough. And not just for me, for a lot of people. Chris was one of those guys that everybody liked. Even if you tried not to like him, you were probably going to end up liking him. I mean, he was just that kind of guy. As bad as I hate to say this, I was closer to him than I am my own brother. So, as most of you can probably imagine, it's kind of tough when you have a car that you're trying to build and you have a YouTube channel that you're trying to run and you can't stand to be in your shop. That makes it hard to get anything done. So for a long time I didn't. Went back to work at the end of March last year, and I mainly just focused on that. And dealing with losing Chris. And then last fall, I started getting my motivation back. I wanted to work on the car. And I wanted to get back into the channel. But we had been out of room at the house we were in for a long time. We had outgrown the place. And the area we're in, the town we're in, there's not a lot available. So we had been looking for a different place for a long time. And last winter we found a place. It was big enough, and it was something that we could afford, and it had a big enough garage. Because the place that we were in before, I was renting my shop from the same guy that we were renting our house from. And so when we moved, I lost the shop too. But where we're at now has a big enough garage for everything that I need to do, including with the channel, which is actually a good thing, because before, the shop was about 7 or 8 blocks from the house, and that made things hard. There wasn't any water there. There wasn't a restroom there. So that made things hard, especially if the kids went with us. And now the garage is 20 feet from the back door of the house. So that's great. I can walk right out my back door and go to my garage. So that's awesome. So we moved in March, I think. Yeah, March. So over the winter, we were packing and getting ready to move. So I was on YouTube, actually. Wasn't doing anything with my channel, but I actually was, I was on several true crime channels. True crime's kind of always been a little hobby of mine, just because of things that have happened in my family back years ago when I was younger. So over the winter, I was just kind of doing that, which did benefit the channel too, because we did pick up a lot of subscribers on our channel from me doing that. But it wasn't the same. It's not the same as doing your own thing. Even though I really enjoyed it, because it's a hobby of mine, it's a passion of mine, it's not the same as doing your own channel. So we moved in March, and of course I spent a lot of time through the spring helping Dawn put the house together and get everything going. And then once we got everything lined out with that, then I had to put my garage together, because when we moved everything in here, we just shoved everything in here and shut the door, and I mean, you literally couldn't even walk in here. So I started on the garage in spring and spent a lot of spring and a lot of the summer getting it put together. So that brings us up to where we're at now. So hopefully you guys can kind of understand why we haven't been putting out any videos, or why we haven't been around. And I'm not putting this out as a sympathy thing or anything like that. I'm not really the type of person that talks about stuff like this, but I feel like I owe our subscribers and our followers and the people that watch our videos an explanation of why we just disappeared. It wasn't really something that I planned on. It was just a lot of bad things snowballing, and a lot of bad things happening, and it just took a long time to deal with all that. So hopefully that answers the question of why we left YouTube. We really didn't. I just had a lot to deal with, and hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So now to move on to a different part is, you guys might be saying, well, okay, have you done anything with the car, or what's the status of that? Well, I'll show you. We actually haven't done anything with the car until this weekend. But rather than me just sitting here telling you about that, let me go ahead and show you. Okay, so here's the car. It's sitting much as it was the last time you saw it. We did roll it out this weekend and wash it. It had about a half inch of dust all over it. So we rolled it out, washed it, and got it cleaned up. So we could start working on it again. Try to get you guys a better angle here. So we really haven't touched it since the last time you saw it on video. So there's that, obviously. There has been one change to the project. It's kind of a secret I've been keeping from a lot of people. So we did finish building the engine that we were building for the car. Had it all finished, painted, ready to go in. And I sold it. Yeah, I sold it. And you're probably like, oh my God, why did you do that? What are you going to do now? Well, don't worry. I always have a backup plan. So what we're going to do now is this. After selling the other motor, I bought this. It's a 6.0 out of a Cadillac Escalade, low miles. I heard it runs as smooth as can be, purrs like a kitten. So we're going to step up our game. Instead of the 5.3 we're building, we're going to run this 6.0. I just kind of decided I wanted to go with something bigger. It doesn't look like much right now. It does need a good cleaning. But it runs great. So that is pretty much the update on the car, on the project. It's now getting a 6-liter. As far as the shop goes, let me show you that. We do have a new shop. Like I said, it's right behind our house. Pretty good size. We'll start over here. So come through the man door here, and this is kind of a mess over here right now, but we've got this side. So we've got this bench here in the corner. Cabinet there has all our paint supplies in it. We got these tires and this other stuff is is coming out of here, going in the shed. So there's the workbenches. Come back here, we got another bench. Has our Fastenal stuff, all our hardware and everything on it. The exhaust for the car is down there. That's a fender off of a 91 Camaro RS that I owned before I started the channel. We got our stereo set up in the corner. There's all our toolboxes. Got these really cool cabinets right here. Use those for that's all our oil and our paint and everything, fluid cabinets basically. Decorated them with some plates. We got our welder. Another angle of the workbenches. So that's a pretty cool little setup there. This corner is a tribute corner that I put together for Chris. Got a dual reclining love seat here. Gives me a place to kick back and relax if I need to take a break or whatever. All this stuff, starting from the crew poster, is all stuff that was Chris's that I had in the other shop. Just posters and stuff that was his. I'll give you a kind of a better view of that corner. Just kind of a nice little area to kick back and take a break or whatever I need to do. There's all our parts, new parts. And finally, for the shop, we had a flag made. Got a plasma TV there with Wi-Fi. So if I'm kicking back in the corner taking a break, need to look something up on YouTube or whatever, I can. Got some filing cabinets here. Mainly just parts receipts, books, parts catalogs, some parts in them. Got a refrigerator. Put some cold drinks in. Our press and our engine hoist. And then over there's all our drain pans and gas cans and all that kind of stuff. So that's our new shop here. Like I said, plenty of room to do what we need to do. And I still have room to get my SS in there in the wintertime. So that'll work out pretty good. Really liked our flag we had made. That turned out sharp. And we had a plate made for the front of Mystique. So I guess that just leaves one more question to answer. Where do we go from here? Well, we move forward and we do what we set out to do. I still have a car to build for my daughter, and I plan on having that done before she's ready to drive. And the goal with this channel always was to build my daughter a badass car and to share the journey with all of you. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move on. We're going to move forward. We're going to finish this project, and we're going to be here to share it with everyone that wants to be a part of the journey. So if you want to see more, if you like the channel, if you want to be a part of the journey, leave your greasy fingerprints all over that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you know when our videos come out. And we'll see you at the next one. Thank you.